Sure you do. What a very bright morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Liberia. Thank you so much for joining us on this bright and cool Wednesday morning here on the Brush Morning Talk. We'd like to welcome you officially to the BMT. Of course, the Brush Morning Talk is your informative breakfast morning magazine program right here in the township of Gunnersville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. We join you this morning from around the Chicken Soup Factory Junction. Welcome to the Brush Morning Talk. Of course, today is the 14th day in the month of July. The year remains 2021. It is a very cool and a wet Wednesday morning here in Monrovia. And this morning on the Brush Morning Talk, there are lots of issues we have outlined to talk about. We're going to look at the recent appearance of Mosrado County Senator Abraham Darius DeLong. Of course, there were lots of controversies, concerning the flight, the flight he went with to the United States upon his visit to the U.S. And of course, on last night, Abraham Darius DeLong finally, he finally consented that indeed he flew, a business class flight to the U.S. And he apologized to his followers. He apologized to Liberians, for doing that. He said he lied. Because initially Senator DeLong he was defending that. Of course, he rode on an economic class flight, but later on last night the Mosrado County Senator apologized because there were lots of fact finding centering around the subject on our discussion. So we're going to talk about that this morning on the Brush Morning Talk, and we will also talk about lots of issues in relations to the fight against coronavirus and lots more. So we'd like to welcome you again. Welcome to the Brush Morning Talk. That's the BMT. So that's July 14. The year remains 2021. Of course, I'm James Yagerson Fokwa Jr. Remember, I'm the lovely grandson of my lovely grandmother, and that's why liking me is optional, but respecting me is mandatory. This morning, we will talk up to 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we have in here our guest on the Brush Morning Talk. Our guest is Ambassador Felicia Gallo. Of course, she's the CEO of the Women of Grace International. We're going to be talking about her charity organization and the businesses is doing currently in terms of sponsoring, orphanages and so forth. There are lots more we're going to talk about this morning. And very subsequently, while in the broadcast, my colleague Frank Martins will join me. And together we serve you the very best your FM receiver has to offer you this morning. So this morning, we'd like to say thank you for joining us again on another splendid presentation of the Brush Morning Talk. Of course, the Brush Morning Talk is the BMT. This is the nation premier breakfast table. This is where we highlight key issues that are relevant to the foul march of our beloved Liberia. And those of you who hold the view that Liberia shall never succeed, definitely those are evil views, and definitely there's no place for those kind of view in this modern dispensation. Liberia, through our collective efforts, is going to get to where we want it to be. We need to be very patriotic. We need to be nationalistic, and we need to understand that, Liberia belongs to all of us. And through whatever means and capacity we have the ability to serve our nation, it is time we do so in making Liberia second to none right here. This morning, we're going to talk about lots of things like I told you already. So many things we're going to talk about. So many things. But at 9 o'clock, we're going to have Ambassador Felicia Gallo. Of course, she's the CEO of the Women of Grace International. We're going to talk about a charity organization. We're going to talk about a charity organization, what they are doing, how they're going about, where are they getting the sponsorship, to help those orphans, So there are lots of key issues we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to look at the recent rate of prohibition that was filed by controversial Mosrado County District 10 Representative Yaka Koruba. Of course, we are told the justices in Chamber have summoned the leadership of the House of Representatives to talk about quote unquote Yaka Koruba has claimed that his time of suspension to have stay away from legislative function is over because he was suspended for 16 sitting days. And Rep. Koruba is arguing that his 16 sitting days has expired. And so he took that to the Supreme Court through a writ of prohibition that was filed. And the Supreme Court is also looking into that matter. They have invited the leadership of the House of Representatives so that they adjust themselves, to the claims and counterclaims from Representative Yeka Koruba. So there are lots more happening here. Lots of issues trending currently in Liberia, and we are told on the 26th of July, the Somalia draft will be dedicated by the president. And recently there was an assessment tour that was taken by authorities at the Ministry of Public Works and the Public Works Acting Minister, including some hardcore officials, were somewhere around the Somalia draft area here. And they did all of the assessments that were needed, and they said that July 26th, the Somalia draft will be dedicated. That's a very good news. And so there are lots more absolutely happening. That controversy between the Front Page Africa and that of Senator Brandaras DeLong, and Front Page Africa finally has they have gotten the ability to deliver, in the sense that, what they said concerning Senator DeLong, that he flew business class flight to the U.S., something that Senator DeLong denied initially. Something that he denied initially. It was on last evening when the senator apologized to the Liberian populace, to his supporters in particular, and said that I lied about not flying business class flight to the U.S. So he agreed, and indeed he flew a business class flight, and it wasn't the economic class like he initially reported. And so Front Page Africa checkmated the senator very well. And now that the senator have consented, it's good sometimes to be very frank about how things go about happening, right? No one is 100% correct. So when people err and coming back, using a national platform to express, regret about what he or she has done, it's something that we as Liberians too can look in that direction. When people err and recognize that indeed there were some errors along the way, I think it is very important too that we look in that direction. There are lots more public officials who have done so many wrong things. Sometimes they wrong are written on the wall, and they continue to defend. They continue to say, hey, as far as concerned, they continue to provide those kinds of backings and so forth. But Senator DeLong, though he willingly lied, yes, let's get it correct. He willingly lied. There are difference between unwillingly lying and willingly lying. The senator knew very well that he flew a business class flight to the U.S. He should have been very blunt to the Liberian people. He should have been very frank and say, hey, I flew a business class flight, but it was due to some reasons. I think that would have been more expedient. But to have denied, and you push the journalists to the wall, to go and do the checkmating, because that's part of our functions as well. And so the Front Page Africa did not take it personal, but what they did was to make sure that the governors, they go after all of the evidence that are involved in the business class and the economic class flight, and definitely they make sure that they unearth those hidden vessels, those hidden information centering around the senator travel and so forth. We want to see Front Page Africa, they are screaming it well. They were very professional in their reportage, and they make sure that the senator was held accountable. There were some reasons. There are lots of reasons that are involved. Let's get a few of these reasons clear this morning. There are many times when people start to checkmate Senator Brandaras DeLong, supporters and others begin to wonder, why is it that it is only DeLong? Why is it they are not going after other legislators? Why is it they are only after Senator DeLong? There are numerous responses to that as well. Now, Senator DeLong came to the Liberian Senate, pretending to be the light. He came on the under the banner. I mean, he showed himself under the banner of being so transparent, so accountable to the Liberian people. And so we expect the very best out of him. We expect more. And we expect the very best, right? Those other lawmakers. We are not saying they are holistically, doing better, but I mean, to have come and say, hey, I'm going to make sure that I expose all of the ills in the Liberian legislature. I make sure I inform the people about some of the daily workings. I will be one senator, who will not fly business class flight and all of these kinds of things. I think with that, we hold the senator accountable. So it was expedient on his part later on to admit that indeed, he flew a business class flight to the U.S. But again, we want to say thank you for mustering the courage, to tell the Liberian people that indeed that was it, and all of that this morning. So it's absolutely not an easy one for a leader to add and come back to you and say, hey, I made a mistake and you need to forgive me. I think with that, Senator DeLone tried his possible best. But we want to call on other leaders as well. No one is infallible. Let's get this right. There's absolutely no one that is infallible. And so when there are errors along the way, it's good to inform the Liberian people that, hey, these are, we have some errors along the way here, and we're still working on them to make sure that these errors are not repeated and so forth. But Senator DeLone last night, he apologized to the Liberian people. We're going to listen to your responses, in relations to the senator flight saga. We're going to listen to your response now that he has apologized. And what he made of it, we're going to allow you to form part of the Breakfast Morning Magazine program this morning. So those of you joining us by means of SAM TV, we'd like to say good morning, good night, good evening. It depends on which part of the world you join us from this bright Wednesday morning here in Monroeville. And those of you following the Brush TV Live, we'd like to say good morning. We salute you. Continue to share the platform together. We'll have a kind of sumptuous breakfast this bright and wet Wednesday morning. So we're coming to you live from the township of Gunnersville Township this morning, from around the Chicken Soup Factory belt, and we're right here live on the frequency of 94.7 megahertz. So this morning, like we said, there are lots of issues we're going to talk about. We already, my colleague Frank Mountains is already in, and very subsequently will be joining me so that we continue the discussion right here on the Brush Morning Talk. Be reminded, of course, this is the nation's premier breakfast table, and we do all we can reach to bring you the latest news and information as it unfolds. Keeping reportage intact, making sure that our reportage is void of biases and all these kinds of things. We remain very neutral, and we remain very, 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 very committed to what we do here for the betterment of our country, Mama Liberia. The red light era as well is another talking point. I mean, that place is so okay right now. We are glad that the marketeers are here to the ministry. That's the Monroeville City Corporation mandate, by vacating that premise to go over to the 14 Gorbachev market, where they are currently, and we are told the issue of the swamp and all of that. But I mean, they're going to adjust themselves to it. We hope that the government cooperate with the LMA to better the living conditions, the site. We're talking about the 14 Gorbachev market and so forth. But Frank, good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Yeah, good morning, James. Good morning to our listening audience this morning. And I think it's another pleasant morning in Monrovia. We want to encourage our listeners to continue following the Brush Morning Talk on Brush FM 94.7, the place where we bring informations, not just biases, but informations about Liberia and the world. So I think it's another brand new edition of the Brush Morning Talk on Brush FM 94.7.
Great. So this morning, my colleague Frank Martins is already here in studio, and together we're going to bring you the very best the Brush Morning Talk has to offer you this morning. So like we told you, we're going to dialogue up to, we're going to discuss issues of relevance to Liberia, those ones that are key, in moving forward, those issues that are key to national growth. We're going to talk about them this morning up to 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, that's when we... At 9 o'clock, that's when we usher in our guests. And like we told you this morning, our guest is Ambassador Felicia. Is it
Felicia Gallo?
Okay, Felicia Gallo is our guest this morning, and she's going to talk to us on her charity organization, what they are engaged with, what they are doing, and several other things this morning. And so, Frank, you followed the flight saga with Senator Abraham Darius DeLong, where initially he posted that those were lies. The Front Page Africa was publishing lies and all those kinds of things. It was. I mean, there were controversies surrounding Senator DeLong flight when he visited the United States of America recently. According to Senator DeLong, he flew an economic class flight, but later on, the Front Page Africa, after doing thorough investigation, counter checking those files surrounding Senator DeLong flight, they published that the senator flew, a business class flight to the U.S., something that Senator DeLong, he debunked and he rejected those claims as well. But it was last evening when the senator apologized and said, "I'm sorry, but I flew a business class flight."
Yeah, James, you get it right. I listened keenly to Senator DeLong, the quote-unquote, the light, when he said that he lied to the Liberian people, he lied to his supporter. He lied to his supporter of flying a business class, because he said he did not fly business class from the initial state when he posted that I purchased my own ticket, now government money, and so on a economic flight. So I think DeLong did the wrong thing by deceiving the Liberian people. In the first place.
Okay.
I think his quote-unquote the light is very hard to be justified.
Okay.
It's unjustifiable because if you say you are the light, you are carrying through to the Senate, and then you are coming down to expose yourself, that shows some level of deception in you as a lawmaker. So I think DeLong was in the wrong, though he admitted, but it should not be encouraged in our society when we claim to be very clean and very clean, transparent, and people of integrity. So DeLong was not really, right actually. But what I can tell the Liberian people this morning is that we should be careful on how people are convinced or to vote for them. Okay. Well, not every person you see say Hosanna, 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 I'm this and I'm that, I'm the Christ, I'm the Messiah, you can follow. But the only thing for me that I can say again is that our people need to be very careful as to who they're voting and who comes to them with some of these lyrics, because DeLong had deceived the Liberian people to the letter. From his utterances last night shows that he's one of those who continually lie to the Liberian people in pretense.
Well, Frank, you said it right. Senator DeLong came, under the principle of, being a different senator at the level of the Liberian Senate. And so what we expect of the senator is to be more proactive in terms of, upholding those core values of being a principle-minded individual in the interest of the Liberian people.
Exactly, because these were, philosophy. These were campaign messages he used, but then to convince the people of Montserrat County that yes, if you send me there, business as usual, everything in our place will be very transparent. I will make sure that our people are informed about the day-to-day activities of the Senate. So now, if you go and say, I did not fly, business flight while on economic flight, and then you come in by and say, my people are allowed to you. See the contradictions. But how I'm coming, James? How will your partners you went to in the US? Like for instance, you met the some congressmen in the US in some of the states lobbying around to see how best they can support your initiative in Liberia. How possible it be? These people don't accept or lies. They don't believe in people who are very deceptive.
And Frank, I mean, you're getting it right. Another thing that baffles me a lot is that Senator DeLong is lying too much these days. Let's be frank with this. I mean, of recent, you can remember the issue of the 15,000. There are too many errors the senator is making right now. So, what the stage we're reaching right now, we gradually reaching a point where we can say there's no distinction now because the controversial 15K was received by the senator. And later on, he apologized. So, apologies, and you continue to do the right thing, and you continue to do the wrong thing and continue to apologize. I mean, there's no sense of difference between that.
No,
the senator should be so steadfast before taking decision. He should be steadfast now.
No,
the senator lied to the Liberian people. The senator lied to the Liberian people that he did not fly a business class flight. That was a blatant lie first. What in case the Front Page Africa wouldn't have counter-checked that? I mean, the senator would have continued.
Yeah, who have won sky free.
Free. He was justifying. I saw some of his.
No, but after Rennie came up on one of the nighttime show saying that he trusts his sources, he trusts his reporters, and so on. I think there where the issue came from. Wherein he came yesterday to say, yes, Allah, I'm sorry, I'm shameful to I'm shameful, and my supporter, I'm very sorry. I disgrace myself and my family and so on. So I think he's not different. What I'm sensing now is from his utterances, from his action, from his deeds, it shows that he's not different from those guys who are being in the house, deceiving Liberian people, robbing the Liberian people. He's not different from them.
But what's the difference, Frank? Just imagine that coming. Let me read Senator Dillon post on the 26th. On the 26th of June. This is what Senator Dillon said when that controversy erupted initially. He said, truth always wins, no matter who spins it. So I purchased my own ticket, not from government covers, not star payers' money. I can use my personal earnings to choose to fly any section on the plane, but I always chose to spend judiciously and to my own convenience as I feel necessary. Now,
let me hold you there.
Okay.
Read that part I talk about truth.
Yeah, he said truth always wins.
So
no
now today,
spins it.
now listen, today, truth have won.
Sure enough.
Because last night shows that he been lying and the truth have come to the public.
Frank, the post is interesting. I come here. This is what the senator said when he was debunking the Front Page Africa report. He said, so I purchased my own ticket, not from government covers, not taxpayers' money. I can use my personal earnings to choose to fly any section on a plane, but I always chose to spend judiciously and to my own convenience as I feel necessary. Now, as I can be seen from the screenshot of my electronic ticket, that was deception.
That was the fake one.
That was the fake
one.
I mean, the senator waiting a lie. He knew that he was lying, and he waiting a lie. He waiting a lie. Now that was the fake, flight or ticket that he posted. Now as being seen from the screenshot, you were loading screenshots of the fake ticket.
The fake ticket.
Yeah.
So he just went around those small guy in America say, man, on World Trade Center, man, you're president for me.
Do something for me. Let me convince them.
People.
You don't take off for play. You don't take off for jokes, Senator Dillon. You know that they're massive. They collected their dollars to have you elected. You did not spend a dime. People supported you. So you need to remain true to the code that got you elected, right? This is why he said, now, as can be seen from the screenshot of my electronic ticket, I purchased economic class seat from Monrovia to America. The photo of me seated in economic class was also posted during the flight. I walked over the chat with a foreign friend in the business class section of the plane. And now I see the nurses and spin doctors running. You see what he was saying? He was insulting people here. And the senator was insulting people here. Now I see.
So James, let me just cut you off. So now then we'll ask the question: who is Spanglex?
Who is Spanglex?
In this case, if he called the police in the house before, Spanglex individual in the house. So now who is Spanglex? I'm gonna be real here.
Yeah, but he said no matter who spins it, all the kind of thing. Let me just complete what this senator said about this information. He said, this is why I always, he said, okay, I see the nurses and spin doctors running with Darius Dillon flew business class. This is why I always laugh out loud when people make themselves look so dumb and silly without making honest effort to know or find out the facts or truth before running around in the name of being moral police. So now you see that you're calling people moral police when you pretended to be an integrity icon. You pretended to be an integrity icon. This particular deception from Senator Dillon has the propensity of breaking his followers down, because the senator made his followers to believe initially that he did not fly, a business class flight. Unfortunately, after he checked the base and checkmating, fast funding, the senator come back to the Liberian people and say, hey, Oh, those were errors. You willingly lied to us. You willingly lied to us. And that was very, it was deceptive on the part of the senator.
Oh, yeah.
It was very deceptive. We hope that the senator don't repeat, we hope that he don't repeat those kind of errors. Those errors are so dangerous.
Our people can say, common parable, the monkey will not jump without leaving the black hand
behind.
Yeah. So the monkey will always jump with the black hand.
Sure.
So I think once you are a liar, you have that DNA in you. You will always continue to lie.
Your real color will still be shown.
Will always show.
Yeah.
Anyway, no matter how you hide yourself, your real color will always show.
Indeed, and
so
that's
we are seeing the light now going in the darkness.
Getting dim.
For me, I have been someone who been following DeLong, and I like the way he push argument.
Okay.
I like the way he stick true to power. But at times too, let he take time on how he use some words and coming to the public with a sin. Let him be very careful how he address some of these things.
Definitely.
I think people around him are only advising him.
Sure.
We see him, speaking truth to power, saying things that will change our society. But coming now to be liar man, look, it's bad for me.
It's very disheartening. That was the law that came from the slum. The Liberian people themselves say, hey, Senator DeLong, we want to make sure we support you. And they collected their dollars for DeLong election.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, there were lots of support that came from the
Liberian people. Mess.
Oh, yes.
And I think these are things that some of our colleagues voted in for. We will clean the mess. We will make sure that place be clean. We will provide transparency, accountability, and so on. So these are things that people want to see. When you say you are clean, continue being clean.
That's it.
Don't be clean in your mouth.
Frank, the thing is that we haven't gone any far. Senator DeLong is elected for 9 years.
Oh, yes, 9 years.
9 years. And since he got his new mantle of authority, the recent election, the December 8th election, we haven't even gone the first 1 year in active administration, and then we have tracked approximately about 8 to 9 errors along the way now. The light is absolutely becoming dim. What hurts me more and what baffles me is that, Frank, let's be honest here. The senator, he did not lie out of ignorance. He knew what he was doing.
He knew.
You saw the senator defending the issue to the letter.
No, but what happened is he thought that we as journalists in Liberia are not following some of these happenings. He think that we are not professionals.
Sure.
So it validates that we as journalists are doing our best. Just imagine. He thought we are not following them.
Sure.
Anything he's saying in the public, people will not checkmate him. So it shows that the journalists in Liberia are on top of the game. We are doing our best to ensure that this public, this society is transformed to the letter.
Definitely, and I don't know. For me, I'm not still understanding for what the senator decided to deliberately lie to the Liberian people. I say deliberately because, according to you, you use your personal money to have booked the flight, right? So you will have been very frank and say, oh yes, it was because maybe due to one or two things that I needed to attend to speedily in the state, so I needed to have flown a business class. The Liberian people who have listened nation.
No, but in the first place, nobody is coercing you to post as to whether you flew business class or economic class. No one is coercing you.
Sure.
It is your right. It is your right. The only thing that makes you different is that you say you will do everything in a proper manner.
Oh, yeah,
because the people are suffering. He said you will get $5,000, you take home $5,000, and the rest of your salary will go to the public.
It goes to
that's what you say. So based on that, I think that there where he decided to publish whatsoever. But he published the wrong document. Faking, I think fakery is a crime. You say you know.
It is.
If you go take the paper and then another red paper you go post it, I think they send it.
It is hilarious. It was done. I hear the city saying that was all attack.
These are things that Martin K. Collins have been pushing for that. There should be economic crime, or academic crime code established in Liberia. People who faking document should be persecuted. So if the code is here now, I think the one who has submitted, it's according to the code this morning.
Yeah. The senator did not do well for himself, and he stabbed himself in the bargain, and he continued to make. The thing is that, Frank, let's be honest, right? You cannot lose the total population at once. You lost them gradually.
Oh yes,
gradually.
Yes.
Whenever you err, there are a few batch of people that stay away.
No, but and one thing I was observing in Liberian politics, there's all the Liberians who are very dogmatic.
But there are many of them who haven't apologized after their leader have apologized.
No, that's what I'm saying. They are very dogmatic. They only stick to one thing. Since they learn that maybe Jesus Christ, when you say hallelujah, that hallelujah is just hallelujah. They don't see the wrong.
All right, look.
They will not speak to the wrong.
All right, Frank, look at what the government newspaper is publishing here. New Liberia. The government says, Mr. Liar Man, the Liar Man. This is hilarious, but it is serious.
Oh yeah,
they senator flew a business class plane, and when he got to the state where the argument arose initially, he said, "No, I did not. What I did was flew an economic class flight. Later on, after a thorough investigation, the senator comes back and say, I'm sorry, Allah, Hashem. Where's the integrity?
So now there is no integrity.
There's no integrity. Where the integrity comes from?
No, I hear
legislators received 15,000 each and made COVID-19 and made the upsurge.
Oh yes,
in COVID-19 and made the increase in death cases as a result of COVID-19. The government, the country is still struggling with the issue of lack of essential drugs and other equipment to fight COVID-19. Senator DeLong was one of those senators that received a controversial 15,000. He apologized. We take the apology in good faith. Today, despite the country still grappling with the issue of the coronavirus, the issue of low support and all these kinds of things, the senator is flying a business class. So it's a mockery to the majority Liberians as well.
So I don't think you have the standing to question George Weah.
Where do you pass? Where do you stand? How do you go about doing that? That's another thing. On what grounds will you be critiquing when you yourself have been involved by these same things? You see now, news outlets across, Mr. Liarman, and these articles are all right because if one lies, he's a liar. So for the fact the senator lie, you call him a liar man. The facts are there to substantiate your claims. This ain't a lie. He said he did not fly economic business class. Critical following up, there were lots of things discovered, and then the senator, that the senator was not honest in that particular revelation. They're not honesty there. Nobody mulatto, you say, oh, that honesty. If any man made a mistake, he says sorry, they're not honesty.
And you will see some more.
If the man were honest, you would have said, I flew a business class because of so and so reason. Nobody needed to have gone and checking further. But the senator said he did not. The debate lasted for over a week, Frank.
Oh yeah.
It lasted for over a week.
Oh yes.
Last evening, the senator come back. So
that debate also pushed Rennie CA to go on the air to justify his rhetoric. That yes, indeed, I trust my source. DeLong is lying.
DeLong is a liar.
DeLong is lying.
Yeah, he's a liar.
He flew economic flight.
Sure enough.
I have every document to my claim. Now he's coming back. So I think the debate that lasted for that kind of length of time made Rennie to go to the public. But what for me I can tell the Liberian people this morning is that we should be very careful with people. This is a clear lesson learned.
Sure.
Because our politicians these days are not truthful.
They are not. Absolutely.
They are the same people. That the same people you are seeing. No
difference, bro.
No different.
Absolutely no different. You complain about people flying economic class, right? The senator complained. He complained that people are receiving these other benefits. People were doing this. People are doing that. Where are we today?
So it even tell that if there will be any brown envelope on the cover, it will not be exposed again.
But there were allegations that there was some money sent to their private accounts. You know, the issue of I saw Carlos Gray representing Carlos Gray of District Number 8 was posting out that challenge. He said each of the lawmakers receive money, you know, to their private accounts and all those.
I challenge the law to prove.
Yeah, he said it. And up to presidents, and they don't have him said a word to that. He hasn't. And then unfortunately, the senator willfully lied to the Liberian people. Willingly.
Yeah, willfully, but willingly.
Yeah, willingly.
Willingly lie.
He said, I'm going to lie to the Liberian people. And he did. Who told you the senator never knew that those documents you were publishing with? The first thing as a public official, integrity matters.
Oh, yes.
If you come to the discourse and say, I'm integrity oriented, I'm principle minded, what it does is that it allows the public to see you to be different. Oh, yeah. And so you must be different in all of your actions, all of your deeds, all of what you do. But Frank, I can tell you that, I am an integrity icon. You say, oh yeah, James, I met with integrity. Today, I'm integrity person. Tomorrow, I'm not integrity person. At certain point in time, then I push the issue of integrity. That's being inconsistent.
You see my mother Bible?
Yeah, my mother Bible. You know, the thing is hilarious, but it's serious. What hurts more is that why would the senator apply effort to provide fake documents to elaborate people? You have said you did not fly a business class flight. All right, G, no problem. The common people, they're listening. Those that just tell you, they were still with you, right? 1 week, the senator was paying people to do fake documents just to post to justify his action.
Oh, yeah.
He posted all of those fake, you know, plane tickets, all of those fake flights. The first thing is, what was the motive of this senator? What do you take the Liberian people for?
No, but he was justifying his action.
I mean, he justifying.
You're willingly justifying his action after he had willingly lied.
Oh yeah.
You're willingly justifying his action to defend himself.
And he was still calling people who were flagging the issue spineless.
Oh yeah.
He was still making mockery of it.
So you also have to apologize to Rennie and all of us.
He got to apologize to the FPA.
Not just his supporters.
You got to apologize to the FPA. People cannot be doing their professional work, then you overlook that, you look down. And you know, you forget to know that the media makes people and the media destroys people. No one is above the media. Donald Trump is not president today because several big media institutions did not let his star. The CNN is a living example. The CNN stood on ground today. Donald Trump is one-term president. So the media makes people and the media breaks people. So you gotta be, you gotta be steadfast when you're doing things. What we do is that when you do the right thing, we clap for you. We appreciate you as media personnel. If you go wrong, we checkmate you and say, hey, chief, you have erred. Come right back here and apologize. So the senator willingly, he knowingly lied to the Liberian people about not riding a business class flight. He willingly, he knew very well that what he was doing, that lie. But he started to justify it. And that's my own disappointment. When you err, be frank that you err.
Yeah.
But when you want to do it, I didn't say you are the only Jesus Christ. And being the Jesus Christ, then you come out of those kinds of that's a mockery. You don't lie to people like that. If you err, at the time the front page published initially, you should come back and say, oh, yes. The thing lasted for a week. People debated it, people argued it, and your supporters were all around, couldn't allow people to talk. Today, you can't write back and say, I'm sorry, and I apologize. The question, if I have the opportunity right now to have the law institute, I will ask him, on which pretense, did you begin defending your trip to the US? What was happening to you? Who lied to you? Who gave you such an advice? What were you thinking about?
Who pressurized you?
Who pressurized you to have lied to the Liberian people drastically like you did? Those are questions the senator needed to have responded to. He needs to respond to them of the president. The first thing is, when the publication was made, no one asked Senator Dillon, how did you go to the US? Whether you roll car, you roll back, no one asked him. He took to a Facebook page and said, I flew an economic class flight. And, I'm going to the States to lobby on behalf of the Liberian people. That's good. That's correct. Now, later on, when there were checks, after the senator had posted, From Page Africa did an article and said, no, per our investigation, the senator did not fly an economic class flight. He flew a business class. The senator came right back, and that's how he posted this on June 26th. So from June 26th, look at where we are now, Frank. Today is July 14th. From June 26th to July 14th. It was on last evening when the senator come back shamelessly, because that's being shameless. You cannot do that. Liberian people are people that are, we are up for business. You don't make mockery out of us. You lie to us willingly, and then you come back and say, forgive me, and I lied to you. What do you take off for? The reason we did not let other people is the same thing you do. So that they don't have, he had no projects around that we could point to at the time when he was seeking the senatorial seat. He had no projects around that we could point to. There was one mantle on which Senator Dillon got elected, the issue of integrity. That was all. So it is very devastating that the senator will be breaking down the integrity we talk about. He made an agreement with the Liberian people, the Montserrado residents. And that agreement is, I'm going to be different. I'm going to make sure I restore integrity. I'm going to make sure I checkmate my colleagues at the Liberian City. It's not just about running around and saying, let's establish the World Crime Code. What happens to the integrity? So where are we? On which grounds? And then he sat waiting and did what he did. Said what he said, and people still around hating him. When a leader goes wrong, no right by your face, just senator, you go wrong. Getting tired of that thing. When you not compose yourself to come out and use your integrity, you want your own. The senator will take a clue. He will take a cue from that. But when he may go wrong, he say, "Gee, doing well."
That's about single offenses.
Yeah, you know that he's wrong.
So Ginger like that, and then get a few calls to see how best our listening audience can also contribute to the show.
Definitely.
So and that's the number, so we can get their own contributions on the show this morning.
Definitely. So those of you joining us, of course, you're listening to the Brush Morning Talk here on Brush FM 94.7 megahertz, SEM TV and Brush TV Live, respectively, this morning. So today is July 14, of course. The year remains 2021. It is a Wednesday morning here in Liberia. This morning on the Brush Morning Talk, we're talking lots of critical national issues. Those of you wanting to form part of the broadcast, go ahead. Call us on 07763669. That's 360979. Again, 0776360979. 0880-346169 are the numbers this morning. Those of you on WhatsApp, you can call us on 0880-346169. Those of you in Liberia, 0776360979. 0880, we have this person already joining us. Good morning. Oh my God. 0776360979. 0776360979. 0880-346169. Let's go back to the line and have this person joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's the name and where have you joined the conversation from?
This is Mona Kennedy calling from New Jersey, Connell Street.
Great. I lied about the flight. Forgive me. That was the law.
That is highly laughable. This country is all about integrity. The ones who come with everything should come with things. Then when you left there on the basis of integrity. And he is falling short of that integrity. If you have started apologizing at this time when you are given a 9-year mandate and you haven't gone anywhere, you start apologizing. And it's too early.
Sure enough.
It is very early. You can get your 3rd year, your 4th year. There will be so many things that you will err along the way. You'll be apologizing and you see our story here will still be bagging it to the letter.
Definitely.
The followers should say, oh yes, we err along the way. But even as you guys speak on the topic, people say on social media, defending it to the letter. Who are we? Who are we, Liberians, that in the end will make a mistake? And he is apologizing and the followers say, defending it. I find it difficult to understand. But this is Liberia, in all cases, we are following.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much this morning on the Brush Morning Talking. That makes it so lovable, in fact. One who said, I'm sorry. The leader have said he's sorry. Then surrogates are saying we can't say sorry. So Why is it when people err and they apologize, then the followers say no? You're not err. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's the name and where you call us from?
My name is Moses for calling from City Double Estate.
It's good to have you on the Brush Morning Talk. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Just thank you for the show. I called this morning to say that I'm very, very disappointed in Senator Dillon. I'm a strong supporter of Dillon.
Okay.
But Senator Dillon keeps lying to all. I'm very disappointed in him. And I will never and ever trust any politician in the country. Thank you very much for the show.
Thank you. And that's what we said, Frank. You know, Senator Dillon came as an angel. People see him to be the hope of life. People see him to be the only person that can make life to go on. And the senator continues to lie deliberately. This is very, very devastating. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's the name and where you call from?
Well, my name is Abdullah Golafale, and I do join you from our community.
Go ahead. Make your input.
You see, finally, let me say hi to you guys for the information that have been provided to the public for the hearing on us. But you think one thing that I would like to tell the public, you see, integrity is a lot of signatures come with something like we call morals.
Okay.
When people do not have the morals, they will always fall short when it comes to these two things. Now instantly, for some of us, it is not something like strange to us to see a senator who we are elected, we have that strong belief that he will deliver the needs of the people, the accountability, not only because whenever Senator Dillon speaks, when he does talk about accountability, and Senator Dillon speaks, when he speaks one or two times, he talk about accountability. Now we've come to accountability in our first shot. Coming to the Reverend people testimony and sorry. Yes, we do agree when you run somebody, you must tell them sorry. But this sorry, you don't have many times, so there's no need you abuse me, you come out, you tell me sorry. I know everything will just come out to be sorry at the end of the day. So what we are saying, these are people who have strong belief in Senator Dillon, and they abuse or even on social media, they went about saying a lot of insulting things to us, but today their senator has come out to at least apologize. What are they going to do? So we must not be able to at least what we don't know of, let's get in that kind of manner of funds so that we'll bring something like recalling and for the frustration and that and something between one another. That doesn't have to respect one another. See, what you know, I don't know. When I come out, so not only should be able to listen. If you don't agree, you say I don't agree, but don't insult me. But people take that even on social media today, so they are cautious. So let them take note of that. As normally the president says, take note. Because they not have said it again, done it again. Let's take note of that again. Let the police in the Akada and the cautious again. The colleges continue to rule.
Okay,
Thank
Chief.
you very much. Let me give the other people a chance, please.
Thank you. And apology continue to rule is the color concluding statement. Yeah, apology continue to rule. Did we vote Senator Dillon because he's going to be making uncountable errors and come back to bring people and say I'm sorry? No. Integrity, accountability, and the moral standings. Those are the core and the principles on which Darius Dillon got elected. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's the name and where have you called from?
Well, my name is James K. Tupa Jr. and I do call you from my office in New Georgia.
James Kazari Tupa, how you doing, dear brother?
Well, I'm doing okay. It's very valuable. And Frank, I'd like to say thank you so much for the presentation this morning. But my attention has been drawn to the issue of the flight saga with Senator Ibrahim Darius Dillon. You know, my brother, there are key things I'd like you to look at. The money spent for the flight ticket is actually from the lost pocket. That's one thing. I'm not defending Dillon because I'm not a supporter of anybody, and that you know me for. Okay? It's from the lost pocket, right? And when it comes to integrity, Dillon was elected on the basis of integrity, as everybody knows. Now, the first place he fought short was the issue of the 15K. Now he came back to the where I apologize. Yes, that. Okay, now he spent his own money and flew the business class and went to the United States.
But I think that in lying to the Nigerian people that the new economic class was something, unprecedented.
Okay.
We never expected him to have done what he did. But then, anything being, let us look at it on the other side of it. It was his money that he spent, and now he has come back to being able to say he's sorry. For me, the only people I will have problem with the supporters who are like still defending that he should have said sorry.
Okay.
That he's not wrong because it's money. He's wrong by lying to that people because he was not elected. On the basis of different things, but he was elected on the basis of moral.
Sure.
Most times when he expressed anything for that matter, he goes ahead talking about moral. He goes ahead talking about accountability. So if you are talking about accountability, those who come for everything must come clean. So if you don't come clean, how do you expect people to follow you continuously? So let me say something this morning.
Okay.
A lot of times, some of these guys who are the media or the people in the media are not, doing their professional work. But on the other hand, the guys in the media are actually doing well. Right? Just that, the support is not forthcoming. The support is not forthcoming, that's all. So the guys are doing extremely well. And so I can say, really, his crew have won again. Because many times these guys will come out with stories and the other guy, the person who will come out with, the person who wants to defend it, and at the end of the day, you'll find it that yes, the guys are really on the right path. And this has happened in the case of Dillon, who was elected on the basis of integrity. Now, we see no integrity.
Yeah, sure.
I don't see, I don't see no integrity.
La dead integrity now.
Yeah, doing the time yet too late. But I think Dillon was maintaining what he was elected for. It means that it should stop where he has reached.
Okay, James. Okay, James.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. And that's it. You know, when Senator Dillon got elected initially, Frank, through that by-election, that short period, the senator was very effective with the issue of integrity, accountability, morals, and everything.
I think during that period, he was describing his colleague, spineless,
useless, and everything.
He was doing that. In my belief, I used to say it.
Okay, Frank, so let me hold you there while you're doing adjustments so that we have our guests on. It is 9 o'clock now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my dear brother.
Good morning. What's the name and where have you called from?
I'm Jim Brown. I'm calling from Corwell.
Go ahead, Chief. You're following the discussion.
Okay. I've been following it. I've been following it to the letter. And now, like brother people, we have to read between lines. If Aaron Dillon, if all we attack Aaron Dillon, then who else will be free? Aaron Dillon used the money to go to fight for the brave people. And he came with something. Aaron Dillon for me, that's my man.
So when a man do something that is wrong, you still say that my man.
The man, you stay on your back.
No, but the issue,
the argument has become so challenging and all of that. We're talking about integrity. We're talking about accountability.
The issue that it is that we are not saying they did not bring anything home.
Sure enough.
The issue here is they don't lie to the people.
He waiting in line.
And he won on the philosophies of being somebody with moral standing. You understand that? That was this campaign message that I will do everything in our house will be exposed, transparency, accountability will be something to the letter.
But Frank, the thing is funny, when you're still seeing the senator supporters still, holding on to say they still have the girls to say, he uses. We agree, definitely the senator uses some money. Yes, I agree with that, 100%. But the senator was very deceptive. I have said this over and again. And if you give me 1,000 platforms, I will say it 1,000 times, remaining very unapologetic. The senator is very deceptive in a sense that, Frank, let's be real. The senator lied deliberately. The senator said on June 26, when he talked to his Facebook page, Senator Dillon said he flew a business class or economic class flight to the U.S. And thousands of his supporters, they were using that as reference. Senator Dillon is traveling out. He used the economic class and all these kinds of things, just to know that those documents that were posted by the senator were fake. It has to do with integrity, sanity. He who preaches equity must come with clean hands. You said, you wrote, if you will, you flew a business class, or let's say an economic class flight. After several research, we found out that you did not, as you claim. And then the debate was intensified. Last evening, the senator came back and apologized. Your apology is accepted, right? But you deliberately lied to the Liberian people. And the reason we're calling on Senator Dillon is that to give him that courage, he needs to muster the courage, to be far-sighted. A man with wisdom, you need to take your time. This is not the first error the senator have made. We got 9 years to go. Will we be experiencing these errors along the way as we forge ahead? We must checkmate the senator so that he knows that he's doing things that are not right. Until we tell the senator that, hey, you are in an error. You are in an error, and what you're doing is not good. These things you are doing right now, they were not part of your manifesto when you proposed to the people of Maserado. When you campaign vigorously to ascend into that position, you told the people that the first thing they can count you on is integrity. So the integrity must be upheld at all times. Get it right. Senator Dillon's integrity must be upheld at all times, even at his house. We elected on the principle of accountability.
Oh, yes.
So the issue of accountability must be upheld at all times. We elected Senator Dillon for being the light in the Liberian Senate. There's no way that light and darkness can put wherever there's light and wherever there's darkness. Once light enters, that place gets brightened. So the senator will need to understand that he needs to hold on to his integrity. The issue of apologizing. Do you know that the more he apologizes, that's the more he's losing the public confidence? Yes, the senator is losing public confidence. This is no secret. This is no secret. The man lied, willing to the Liberian people. He defended his lies. It is just a few moments ago, he come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm ashamed, I'm this. And those one, they are songs now. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's the name?
Yeah, thank you very much. I need a favor and MTLF going for Amagati the
Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah. You see, the law is working to celebrate his proposal.
Okay.
Okay. That's the reason why the people elected him. Why I think so. Because the Lord said all the other people from there that will go in or into the line. You will now be free for the 5,000 card.
Yeah.
Other people you have for the 5,000 card, you condemn them. And so when you enter in the hall, you receive it for the 5,000 card. Right? Then he said for his salary, maybe 5,000. Okay? And other money, you will get the muscle rather. That is number 2. You receive $8,000. You knew that somebody for the opposition for money. When you knew that somebody coming to our money, you said you received $10,000, which was a lie. You lied to the Liberian people.
Blatantly lie.
Then you said, anytime, any solution exactly, you will establish the problem.
Yeah.
Okay? You said all these operating. The 2020 election, the people went over 1 million in voted in. Okay, actually, that is reason because you don't know how he attitude. The people not elected because you know because that he trust him, because that he said them, because that he straight out them. They elected him because they want somebody that will go against the president. The president that will challenge the president. The person that will insult the president. It's the reason why the elected, you see somebody take defending him. When he lies to the people, somebody take defending him. That's the way it's supposed to life. Okay? We cannot force him. We are feel that you are not a straight power man. We said no.
All right, Chief.
You are a black so man.
All right,
So
sir.
you never support them. You show the people, but the content said no. That you don't want because you don't want to take away on the family.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. You made your point this morning, and yes, we're still here on the Brush Morning Talk, the BMT on Brush FM 94.7 megahertz, Brush TV Live and Sam TV, respectively. And those of you following us by means of the social media, continue to like and share the platform this morning as we expand the platform together. And those of you listening by means of radio, very shortly we're having our guest. Lower down your monitor, Chief. What's the name?
Good morning.
Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Aro Kemola, calling from right opposite the station.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, the nation feel that they can use the means that they can generate the support of the Liberians. Let me tell you
We're talking this morning about the no, let's get to the flight saga. It's not about how sedition feel.
I'm telling you that maybe because you
No, we don't just
not
let
the
people
issue.
off
Go
like
to the
that.
point.
I
Go
want
ahead.
you to get to the point.
I listen to what other people say.
Okay.
We are attacking the supporter of the law. You say other about things and you people welcome me out here.
No. Listen. Will you listen, sir? Okay, what we're doing this morning is that we're discussing the issue of the flight saga with Senator Darius DeLon. And you can remember on June 26th, the senator talked to his Facebook page and said he flew. Will you listen to me? Will you listen to me, sir? What we're saying is that the senator talked to his Facebook page on June 26th and said that he flew an economic class flight to the U.S. And later on, after fast checking, after thorough investigation, it is established now that the senator did not. It is absolutely it is absolutely established that the senator flew a business class. What we're saying this morning is the issue of integrity. We are not here for CPP and CDC.
We are fully persuaded that our God is still Jehovah Raphael, God our healer, regardless. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, our God then will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins and I will heal their land.
Lord, you promised that if we your people call by your name, we'll humble ourselves, be cleansed from all that is not of you.
That when we pray, when we call you, you will heal our land. Save this land, save this world, heal our land, Lord, heal this world.
Save this land, save.
I hope I have enough light. Let's go on with this.
On the BMT is Ambassador Felicia Gallo. Of course, Ambassador Gallo is the Chief Executive Officer of the Women of Grace International. We're going to talk about her organization, its operation and how they go about, galvanizing support for orphanage and orphanage homes as well. So, Madam Gallo, would like to say good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing this morning?
Well, we're doing pretty well. And how are you as well?
Oh, I'm fine by His grace, and thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Let's begin with your organization, the Women of Grace International. Can you give us a backdrop firstly as we proceed?
Yes, thank you so much. Again, thanks for having me. The Women of Grace International is a Christian women group, Christian women charity group. We came together. Actually, I started a group from my near-death experience. I was very sick and almost at the point of death. And when God gave me grace and brought me back to life. So after my illness, I decided to it's my way of appreciating God for what He has done for me. I decided to put women together to go on the field and be like disciples of Christ. You know what Christ did? Christ was going all over the place and doing good for people. So that's how we started. We got together like 4 years ago. And when we came together, we were doing that here in America. We're going in the streets and feeling like, helping the homeless. Believe it or not, there's a lot of poor people here in the United States. So we started our ministry out by going in the streets of America or Philadelphia and feeding the homeless people who live in the streets. And after that, we come together every morning to pray. And the Lord spoke to somebody and they said that God wants us to help children. So where do we go to help children? We started to pray about it, and the Lord directed us to Liberia. So going to Liberia, we did not know where we're going. We got on a plane. We said we're going to do our first trip. Our first mission trip was an assessment trip. So on our way to Liberia, we were on a plane. We were thinking and praising the Lord. And just in that time, the Honorable Woman Maima Briggs Menza, she is the representative for Bon County District 6, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So she saw what we're doing on the plane. She said to herself, I think these people, they are real. Because a lot of people come in the name of charity just to exploit people and use children's names and just, for their own gain. So she said to herself, she said, I think these people, they are real because they continue to praise the Lord on this plane. So she walked, when we got down, I told the ladies, I said, well, you remember we promised God that when he take us to Liberia safely, we will praise him. And when she heard that, she came to us, she said, where are you guys going? We told her that we go on an assessment trip here in Liberia. We want to help children underprivileged. And so that's how she led us to Bond County, Bolokata. She told us the story about that place. The place is in a rural area of Bond County. You reach to Totota, then you go all the way in. It's a little village where the Ebola, when the Ebola came, it really hit that town, that little village. The people there did not have any idea of what Ebola really was. So there was a girl who went there, she was sick, and the people started dying from one house to another. The whole town perished. I think 4 adults survived from that town, plus the children of those people who died from the Ebola in Liberia. So indeed, when this honorable woman took us there, we found the children, or each one of them got stories. So the group of children who live with family, friends, nobody actually to take care of them. In fact, I'm saying I heard because I don't know if it is true. One of the chiefs told us that it was Ellen's time, President Ellen's time. They came, they told, the news got to the government that group of children were trapped in our village, and if they could get help. So according to the chief, he said they sent they sent a bus for the children. They said, okay, we'll carry them to Balatwa. They took them to Balatwa. But to their surprise, after 3 days, they brought the kids back and they said there was no food. There was no food. So they brought the children back and left them to the village. The children are there living with, family, friends. No school. There's no school in our whole area. So when we got there, we knew that's where God directed us. And know that we are not from there. I'm from Grand Jita County.
Okay.
I am not from that area. But God led us there. So we went there the first year. We identified ourselves with the children. We took them clothes. And from there on, we started to ask the people in the town. We say, but what really these kids need? They said the children don't have nowhere to live. They live with people, and they live with a lot of family friends who are not really taking care of them. So the chief said, if you guys can build a dormitory for them, we don't want to call our children, we don't want to call our place orphanage.
Okay.
For some reason, we call it a dwelling place for them. So we say, okay, and we say we gotta go back and regroup and come back, and that's how we started. The first year that's how we started, and we came back and we just started rolling with the kids. So the group started 4 years ago.
Okay, so since you began this process, how many kids so far you've been working with to making sure that you can aid them, you can help them in making sure that they return to normality like other kids across the world?
Right. Well, actually, for now, we have 160 kids, but all of them are not the Ebola orphans. Some of them are children underprivileged. That is, they have their parents, but their parents cannot, afford to send them to school or to even for clothes. If you look at some of the first pictures we took, some of the children were wearing boots. In the heat, the children were wearing boots. So when we saw that, we said, oh no, this is, even though you have your mom, but you are still underprivileged. So we have 160 children right now.
So where are you getting support from? Because the issue of helping these underprivileged kids and so forth is something that requires soliciting support from other like-minded institutions, partnering to make sure that you can have those materials that you are presenting to them? Where are you getting your funding from?
Yeah. Thank you so much for that question. It's a very good question. Every time we go on interviews, in Liberia, the people ask this kind of question. For now, we are being funded by ourselves. We have just like few friends, like some of our American friends will go around and donate clothes, and sometimes they help us with little fundraisers and stuff. But for now, by the grace of God, we have been funded by ourselves. And just to let you know, these kids, when we went over there, we went to Golokata. Like I told you before, there was no school. They don't have no school there. So our main concern, the first thing we wanted to do was to get these children in school. Because we come in America here, we see how the children, education is the key to success. And if we don't educate our little ones now, then in the future, you're probably going to have Nigerians and Ghanaians and, other people coming to Liberia to take over our country.
Yes.
So the first thing that I really targeted was for these kids to go to school. So we started to lobby for the land. We acquired our land, or we're in the process of building a school. But then but as God will have it, this group is about God. God is the focus of the Women of Grace. We're standing on the word of God, Proverbs 19:17. That says, those who are kind to the poor, you are leaning towards God. And John 3:17 tells us to also, how in the world you're going to call yourself a Christian or God-fearing person, and you close your ears to poor people or poor children? So, as God will have it, the Lutheran Church went in that same village and asked the people what they wanted. Some people say they wanted money to make business. And then this guy there, he said, no, please build a school for us. So they said, well, but we don't have any means of managing the school. So they say, okay, just put the building down, and then we'll know some women coming here they are always here to help our children. We'll let them know. So the Lutheran Church built a school, and when we got there, the villagers, the elders in the town called us and they turned over the school to us. They said, well, we'll be seeing what you guys are doing. You come here with your own money and you've been feeding the children, clothing them. So we are begging you that you please take over the school. And boy, was I happy, because all I wanted for these kids to go to school. In fact, when we came back, some of the teenagers got pregnant. So I was so disappointed. But however, we started with the school. We are sponsoring the school right now. We pay the teachers from our own pockets. Not really pay, but stipends. We made it. We are committed to that, to pay them every month for teaching the children. So we have 160 students, kids from the nursery to up to 7-8 years old. And for now, the school, they ask me what the name of the school. We say we're gonna name it Women of Grace, Academy or something. We have not come up with a name yet, but that's where we are right now. We are operating the school with the help of God. We have no funding. According to your question, it's no funding right now, but we are still believing in God that people will hear us. When we went to Liberia, we spoke. We even talked to some people to help. We met the president. We met him, and we told him what we were doing in Liberia. And he said, "Oh, wow, that's good." He said, "But have you guys talked to my wife?" So I've been trying. My last mission trip, I went to the First Lady office, but she wasn't in town. She wasn't in the country. So I left a letter, but whether she got a letter or she didn't get it, I don't know. And no response. That's the problem that we got in Liberia.
Did you meet a follower? Me?
Well, yes, I did try to call, but then there was no answer. There was no answer. But the first lady we met her before, she's a very, very nice woman, very kind-hearted lady. We helped her before on our first mission trip. She invited us to help her serve the elderly, the elders. I mean, like every month she feeds them. I think on the third Thursday of every month, she feeds the elders. So one time we went and helped her. So she know who we are, but if the message is getting to her, that is the question.
Well, one thing I wanted to look at, Moloch, is that the issue of getting students in his classrooms. What are some challenges you face, maybe in getting students to stay in school and so on?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
are some things?
the challenge
Do you
is
do you cook any meal for them? Maybe during recess time that they can find food, they can get food.
I am telling you that it's my worry right now because the school, we just took over the school like almost a year, not quite a year.
Okay.
But so far we started it because first the teachers didn't want to go to school because there's no pay.
Okay.
So we step up and we told them that, don't worry, we will be the one to pay you guys. So the teachers started coming. But the challenge is some of the parents don't know the importance of education.
Wow.
So sometimes they take the children and take them to the village. And, like I just got a message from the principal. He said the school will close, but he prefer keeping the students, like them coming to school because they don't want the parents to take them away. That is the problem that we are facing. Some of the orphans, when we went back there, they were nowhere to be found. That one of the kids the first picture we took, I had, I had him on my shoulder, Jeffrey. When I went back there, Jeffrey is nowhere to be found. And that is, disappointing. But again, we are believing in God for everything. The kids like to go to school there. I mean, but the parents, some of them don't understand the importance of education.
Meaning when it comes to farming season, sometimes you have to go on the farm, you have to go and drive the bird and so on. So I think these are some things that are trying to embarrass some of the students for going to school.
And that's why we, our program we are trying to acquire a land, a piece of property. Okay. Actually, they wanted to give it to us, or we refused. We said no, we don't want it. The reason, because if you give me a land and tomorrow I'm not going to live forever, if I pass on, and then your family comes back and say they land on my farm after we have developed it, then your family comes back and say this land is our land. So based on that, we say no, we're not going to. Nobody, we will buy the land. So we bought a piece of land, 2 acres. We are planning to build, and that will be the solution. We're planning to build a dormitory, we'll call it a dwelling place for them, where we'll have women taking care of them and giving them care, so that nobody can take them from there and take them on a farm. So that is our goal. We are hoping to. It's because of the COVID, but we believe in God that will go away. So on our next mission trip, we might be breaking ground for that dwelling place for the kids. So when they are there, nobody can take them from there and carry them on the farm.
Okay, madam. Another thing is that the issue of limited support that you're talking about. There are other like-minded institutions. There are institutions when you share similar dreams, similar vision. Have you been able to reach out to those international and national organizations to partner with them to see how best that your foundation can grow speedily, where some of those things confronting you can be, they can be catered to, so that you have a kind of a big NGO that is running and have those kids effective as well?
Yes. Thank you for that question. Yeah, we are in the process of doing that. We are in the process of contacting. First of all, before you begin to lobby for support in this place in the United States, you have to kind of acquire the documents, all the necessary legal documents
Mm.
to do so. So we have done that. We have the 501c3. The donors like to see that.
Yes.
Nobody wants to give their money when they can't get it back at the end of the year. So we have gotten that, and we are in the process. We got our website, but then and the person who did it didn't really do it well. So we're doing it with professionals now. We'll create our website, and then we'll get a ball rolling. But the reason we took our own time, we wanted to do it by ourselves before we start to ask for help, because again, I said, a lot of people come in the name of charity, to just exploit. So we wanted to do sacrifice. Like I said, this thing is about God. It is God who gave us the jobs that we have. So when it comes to, because he said, the least that you do for my brethren, that you do unto me. So whatever we do for the honor privilege, we are doing it for God. So when you're working for God, you are a selfless person. You will sacrifice first, and that's what we did. We wanted to sacrifice. We have done that, and trust me, it's not easy, because we have to do I had to do 2 jobs. There was a time when I wanted to put my things in storage, so I won't have to pay my bills just to cater to these children. And that's what we've been doing. And God has been blessing us. We bought a land, we got a school running, and now we are about to. I know they got some good people in Liberia who want to help, but again, the blackish is some of their chief of staff. There are people when you go there, they will tell you, "Oh yeah, I will get a message." And it happens so many times. I'm not going to call names here, but it happens so many times. This great man, very kind man, the the deputy speaker of the house, he told us, he said, yeah, we talked to him. He said, yeah, you guys come. He said, any little help can do something, because we're trying to get the children in school. And we went to his office. His chief of staff said, oh, yeah, y'all got a letter. We said, yeah, he expecting us. He said, no, the protocol is you have to leave the letter here.
Is it a former deputy speaker or the current deputy speaker?
Fonati.
Okay.
But he never gave the letter to the speaker. So that is the problem that we are facing in Liberia. People, take upon themselves to try to come to help their country, to get back to your country. And you have people blocking you. You are not going there to take their jobs. You are not going there to so I don't know. I wanted the speaker, even Yamale Piercing. Very kind woman. I must commend her. She one of the people that helped us out when we got to Liberia. When we were looking for car, I don't have no car. We have transportation problem. I have to rent car to go to the village. The honorable woman will give us her car. Sometimes her car is down. And so now we are stuck. We ship things. Right now I'm in the process of shipping clothes for the children. We get to Monrovia, there's no transportation. So Yamada PSA one time promised us to transport the children things that we ship to Liberia. To the village. Well, she told her assistant, she said they will call, and we were calling, and assistant could not answer. Oh, she was over there at LPRC. So these people, they are the one that if you are not strong, if you really don't have law for your country, you will give up, because they block you everywhere. We sacrifice to go to Liberia, not because we are rich, but because we want to give back to our country. because we want to educate children who want to go to school, but they have no way of going to school. So we take upon ourselves when we reach Liberia, and you think they will open their arms to work with you. But some of them, they stand in the way. So that is the challenges we are facing.
Now, these are key challenges. Specifically, to run a charity organization, the issue of support is very paramount. You know, it's very key and requires the cooperation of everyone. But despite these challenges, despite some of these setbacks as well, are there plans that maybe in the future, when your organization have grown, the support is coming, are there plans to extend to other part of the nations? Maybe aware there are many kids across Liberia who are confronted, by similar situation as well. Are there plans to extend to other part of the nation?
Yeah, very much so. In fact, one time when we were on an interview with I think ELBC, ELWA, and somebody called me from Ganta and said there was a group of children over there also who lost their parents to the Ebola. So we have been, in fact, on our next trip, we are trying to extend we want to take some clothes over there to Ganta. We don't want to limit our support only to in Bon County. With the grace of God, when God bless us, we'll go all over Liberia. In fact, our goal is probably to reach to another African country that were affected by Ebola, like Freetown. So, but we are believing God, all of these things will happen once we focus on what we came together. We came together so that God would get the glory, not us. I always told people, we want to hire ourselves and let all the glory go to God. And that's why He created all of us. Like if you do good for somebody and they say, oh, thank God for her. The villagers always do that when we go, they're singing praises to God. And that's what God likes. And that's why He created all of us. You guys got something to do. You see, that God brought you here so you'll be able to interview people and create awareness for people who needs to be seen in the world. So that's what we are. That's what we are. We are here to do things in the name of God so that God will be glorified.
So what's the appeal to humanitarian organizations, including some reputable Liberians as well, who may want to contribute to this venture? There are people who normally they are moved by the workings of some charitable organization, and they want to contribute. They want to reach out to you. How can they reach you out?
Well, we have our representatives on the ground, and we have a website, Women of Grace International.org. You can reach us there, and the phone number, our information is right on our website. And also we have people on the ground in fact, I was talking to one of the journalists. He said he think he got to do some interviews too. So it's easy to find us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on our website.
Okay, so this morning our guest is Ambassador Felicia Gallo. Of course, she's the
CEO.
She's the Chief Executive Officer of
Women of Grace
International, and that's a charitable organization. That's a charity institution. They are seeking support to aid those kids, who got affected by the Ebola virus, and some of them, their parents, their parents have died and so forth. You hear all this morning talking about those key issues, how they intend to reach out to other part of the nation and making sure that they better the lives of the young people, those who are living in abject poverty, due to some other reasons. Their institution is trying to reach out this morning. And so those of you following the broadcast and wanting to contribute to the Brush Morning Talk this morning, you can call us on 0776, of course, 0776 360979, 088034616. Again, 0776 360979, 0880346169 are the numbers this morning to allow you to form part of the Brush Morning Talk. That's the BMT right here. Call us on 0776 360979, 0880 346169 are the numbers this morning to allow you to form part of the BMT. Call us on 0776 360979, 0880 346169 are the numbers this morning to have you joining us on the Brush Morning Talk. But I mean, CEO, we are so concerned about your partnership with. Just before we go to that question, we have this caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Sylvester Warman. I came in from the Cookwater Party there this morning. It's a wonderful time being at platform.
Go ahead. You following our guests. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to actually say this. We work with Charity International, and I'd like to extend my thanks and appreciation to the Chief Executive Officer, Felicia Gallo. She's actually doing a
What's going on?
it's a good job. I like hearing these like any other politicians that are doing it. Let's all do this together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 0776 339. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my God, we lost that caller. Call us on 0776 360979, 0880 346169 are the numbers this morning to allow you to form part of the Brush Morning Talk. Call us on 0776 360979, 0880 346169 are the numbers this morning to have you on the BMT this bright morning. And so we left with limited time here to join our guests and wrap up, but you can call us on 077 60776 390 79, 0776 360 979, 0880 346169 the numbers this morning to allow you to form part of the Brush Morning Talk right here on Brush FM.
So James, one thing I wanted to look at and I want to ask Madam Gallo is, what are the plans Women of Grace have during this time of pandemic? Are you guys thinking of contributing something, or you have started contributing something to the COVID-19 fight in this country?
Yes, thank you. We been like helping, like individually, not on the our organization's level yet.
Okay.
But we are planning to do something. We're planning to, especially with our children, we're planning to. Last year when the pandemic started, we sent gloves, we sent Clorox, we sent a lot of stuff, protective gears for them. We bought masks and things we send them to the village. The reason we do that, not because we don't want to help in the city, but because in a rural area, they are the forgotten people.
Mm-hmm.
They're forgotten. Even in Monrovia, they have children who are underprivileged, but they have other organizations that are helping them. So we are there to focus on the forgotten ones, the children in the rural areas. So yes, indeed, we are in the process of sending masks and like hand sanitizers and other gloves and other stuff for them for the school. We are in that process.
Great. So, I mean, time is fast spent. Definitely, we're running out of time this morning. Can you give a summary, in other words, a synopsis of some of the things you talk about this morning in relations to your organization?
Say that again.
The time is fast spent. Of course, we're running out of time. We left with 6 minutes to leave on this presentation. So I'm asking whether you could help us with a synopsis, in other words, a summary of some of the issues you talk about this morning.
I just want to, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me this morning. The Almighty God bless you. And also, I want to remind all Liberians, not only one person, you don't have to be rich to help somebody. You know, that the late TV Joshua said, he said, your money in a bank will not speak for you when you are gone. Your houses that you are building, they will not speak for you when you are gone. But when you impact somebody's life, that person, when you die or when you leave, that person will speak for you. So let us try as Liberians. Not only, you don't have to support the Women of Grace, but you can help a child in need. If every one of us, especially God has blessed us to come to this land, the great land of opportunity, where when you sweep in the street, you can get money. If we can extend our helping hand to a child in need, our country will be great again. You know, you do not have to be rich to help anybody. That we are not rich, we are struggling. Some of us have to do 2 jobs to keep this thing rolling. So that goes to all of you. And those of you who are in Liberia who got the upper hand to help. When we come to Liberia, I mean, you can help out. That when we come to now, we don't have a car to go in the interior, to travel in the interior to carry the things that we bought, we ship for the children. We'll end up renting cars in Monrovia. And some of you got 2, 3, 4 cars. So if you can just say, oh, that Zoe Penu, I mean, Honorable Zoe Penu, again, I forgot to call his name. He helped us out. He gave us his car. And I want to thank him in this public manner. Maima Brace Menza, Jumade Piercing, you know, I want to thank them because those are the people that help us out. And all of you can do it. All of you in Liberia, together we can make Liberia great. Together we can educate our children for the better tomorrow, because we don't want Nigerian children, Ghanaian children to come to take over our country. So let us educate the little ones now, because they are the future of tomorrow, the future of Liberia. You do not have to be rich to help. You know, you can sponsor a child in need. So that is my message this morning. May the Almighty God bless all of you. Again, thank you for having me. And I hope we as Liberians will, you know, do this for our country. It is not always what my country can give to me or what job I can get in my country. It is sometimes give back to your country. In your weak ways, God has blessed you to come to this country, to go back and give back to your country. So again, I want to thank you, and may the Almighty God bless you all.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you very much. Let's pick up this final caller as we wrap up here on the BMT. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Quickly, let's squeeze in.
I'm not really monitoring. I just got your radio station to give the frequency of message. So I'll monitoring first for another station get it up here, and I miss the frequency.
Okay, sir.
My phone to listen to. I'm changing right now.
All right. Thank you very much, and keep listening. So we want to appreciate our guest this morning, Ambassador Felicia Gallo. Of course, she's the Chief Executive Officer of the Women of Grace International. You hear there talking about her charity organizations. You know, they are sponsoring lots of less, privileged kids in Bond County. You hear her. And there are plans as well to reach out to other part of the nations once, the needed support are given. And so we hope that Liberians who are potent enough, Liberians who have the humanitarian mindset can join, Ambassador Gallo to making sure that, the issue of the financial sponsorship can be looked at properly. so that, I mean, those kids in rural Liberia too can have access to education, so that they too can have access to those basic, necessities of life as well. But it's been a pleasure. Our guest was Ambassador Felicia Gallo. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the Women of Grace International. Another edition of the Brush Morning Talk is up tomorrow between 8 o'clock up to 10 o'clock, and we let to bid you farewell on this July 14, 2021 edition of the BMT. Until we meet, interact and exchange ideas, guys, waiting when you hear us. I'm James Eggerson, Fogbound.
Frank Pitt Martin.
Have yourself a very good day from Monroeville. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.